Welcome to Medicare School Daily. If you were married for at least 10 years, and maybe you're no longer married, there are some special Social Security rules that you need to know about. And in today's episode, we are going to talk about that. Thank you for joining Medicare School Daily. We're so excited to be here with you today. If you need help with your Medicare situation, you have come to the right place. Medicare is confusing. There's a lot of people out there trying to sell you something. And welcome. We are here to educate you, demystify everything so that you know exactly how to get on the right Medicare plans with confidence and no confusion. Medicare School Daily is brought to you by MedicareSchool.com. We are a team of insurance brokers, and our goal is to not only educate you through programs like this, but also if you need help or when you need help, comparing Medicare supplement plans, Medicare Advantage plans, drug plans, prescription drug plans, dental plans, vision plans, all of the types of plans that go along with Medicare coverage. We would love to help you. So if you ever need help, I'm going to give you our office phone number. You can rewind the show and listen, catch this number, but it's 800-782-6676, 800-782-6676. If you have questions about your personal situation, or you have an experience that you think it would be helpful for other people to hear as it relates to Medicare or Social Security or anything retirement related, we'd love to talk to you. If you want to be a part of today's show, the phone number is down there at the bottom of the screen, 833-824-2004, 833-824-2004. We would love to chat with you and get your questions answered. And guys, this is an opportunity to talk to my dad, Marvin Music, who's literally the nation's leading educator on Medicare. And you get to talk to him. He's not going to try to sell you anything. You just get to hear from somebody who's seen tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of cases, educated millions. So take advantage of that, please. So let's hop into the 10-year Social Security rule that if you've ever been married, you need to know about.
All right. Well, we discuss Medicare a lot on our program, but we also talk a lot about Social Security, and the reason for that is because sometimes they go hand in glove. We know they're separate decisions, but sometimes people want to start Social Security at the same time as Medicare and vice versa. And so I think it's important that people know, everyone knows the rules that apply to Social Security. And so if you're thinking about taking Social Security benefits, you have some options. You can take your own retirement benefit. You can take spousal benefits. You can also take survivor benefits, meaning someone is deceased. And so the way that you do that is going to vary. And of course, today in our climate of Social Security decisions, you have to take the benefit that is the largest, unless you're taking a survivor benefit. In the old days, when we would set plans up for people, we had some options, but we can't do that any longer. So today, we all have to live by this deeming provision rule that says that whatever's the highest amount available to you, that's what you must take.
When you elect to take.
When you elect to take. Exactly right. So as we discuss this particular topic today, what happens is there's sometimes that people don't have much of their own Social Security benefits. So if that's you and your benefit is very low, your own retirement benefit.
Why would that be the case?
Well, it's because they didn't either work a real long time or they didn't have high income. Because when we calculate our Social Security benefit, that's going to be based upon our top 35 years of earnings. And so let's say if it was a lady that was a stay-at-home mom and her priority was her children, great priority, by the way, but probably did not pay into the Social Security system a lot, so may not have 35 years. So regardless, if we don't have 35 years, they're still going to divide our lifetime earnings by 420 months.
Yeah.
That's going to happen. So that really draws your Social Security benefit down. And so if someone doesn't have a large amount on their own, it's very possible for them to get a spousal benefit. And that's what everyone really needs to understand today. And that is, if you don't have a large count of your own, if you were married, but are now no longer married, the rules are this: you had to be married for at least 10 years or longer. We must prove that with a divorce decree. And you cannot remarry prior to the age of 60. So we can still get that ex-spousal benefit as long as we didn't remarry. If we remarry prior to 60, you cannot go back to that previous spouse. And so as long as you didn't, now we're eligible to draw that ex-spousal benefit. So you had to be married, for 10 years. And so when you apply for Social Security, they will look at your own account, and they're going to look at that ex-spouse's to see what is going to be the greatest amount. And so that spouse does not have to be taking Social Security as long as you've been divorced over 2 years. If you've been divorced less than 2 years, then that spouse must be taking their own Social Security benefit. So what they're looking to do is they want to make sure that you are an independent spouse, meaning divorce is over 2 years. If you've been on a divorce for a year, you may have been married 10 years, but you may not be able to draw unless that spouse is taking their benefits. So that's the 10-year rule. And so when we apply for Social Security, you may be eligible for that. So that's the rules on it.
Okay. That's interesting. I think when did Social Security start? Do you know?
Dude, 1935. Pretty sure. 1935. Medicare began in 1965.
Okay. Yep. I feel like I was going to look up percentage of single income households in 1935. 90% of them back in 1935 were single income. So I feel like when this system was set up, it was set up because it was assumed 9 times out of 10 that it was just a single earner.
That there was going to be somebody that would be the spouse.
Taking the spousal benefit.
Yeah. Now, if you are married to someone right now, you actually can draw a spousal benefit as long as you've been married to them for a year or longer, and they're taking.
Say it again.
Okay, I'm saying that we just discussed ex-spousal, but a present spouse, that benefit is also available to us, but you had to be married for a year, and the spouse you're going to draw from has to be taking Social Security.
So if you remarry, is that what you're saying? Or you get married?
I'm talking about two different scenarios now. I'm saying if someone is married right now and they have a low Social Security benefit.
So they are eligible for a spousal after a year of marriage.
1 year of marriage is all it takes, but that spouse has to be taking Social Security benefits.
So let's say if they were married 10 years, like at what point does it
always applies? Always applies. Yeah. They just started that a couple years ago. So in other words, you cannot draw a spousal Social Security benefit today unless your spouse you're married to that you're drawing benefits off of is actually taking Social Security. That's the way it works. Didn't used to be that. Remember, we used to do the file and suspend.
So you can't take a spousal benefit unless the other spouse is taking Social Security. Doesn't matter if you've been married 100 years.
That's exactly right. It doesn't matter at all. They have to be taking. But if you're divorced, then what happens is as long as the marriage lasted 10 years and the divorce is now over 2 years in period, then that rule does not apply.
Then you can take it.
Exactly right. But
does it notify the other person?
No, it does. Yeah, that's very good. Yeah. So you're not hurting your ex-spouse by doing that. Some people wouldn't want to hurt him, others would like to, but you're not going to be able to do that. It has nothing to do with it. And Josh, your point is valid because back in 1935, when Social Security system began, 9 out of 10. I didn't know that stat, but that's why they wanted to make sure that the other person, the spouse, was able to get some type of benefit. So that's how this all began.
Okay, so if you take off of your ex-spouse's benefit, it doesn't hurt them, doesn't help them, doesn't do anything. Do they get a notification? Do you know?
Not at all. Not because it's irrelevant. But
do they have the ability at a later date to go up to a higher benefit once they're owned? You know what I'm saying?
No, remember, because of the deeming provisions. So what happens is when you apply for Social Security today, they're going to look at your own benefit, which would be 100% of your whatever you're eligible for, and they'll compare that to 50% of the spouse. So whatever's greatest, you have to take.
Isn't there one scenario that I've heard you explain where it does kind of like
it does?
Okay,
and
what is that?
Survivor benefit. So this is the only benefit today where your own account can grow. So
have a meaningful stuff.
Yeah, exactly right. So let's say your spouse passes away. Yeah. So what happens is you can draw a survivor benefit. The rules are if you're married and they passed away, you had to be married for at least 9 months. That's it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's all. That's all it takes. But if it's 9 months, but if it's an ex-spouse that passed away.
Yeah.
Again, as long as you're married for more than 10 years, didn't remarry to prior age of 60, you can actually get off of an ex-spouse, deceased survivor benefit then. Okay. So here's my point. If I'm going to take a survivor benefit, then I do not have to live by the deeming provision. I can elect to take survivor, and then my own account will continue to grow.
So
now,
could you do that at 62?
Yeah, you actually can take it at 60. You can. Okay. Yeah. In fact, and if you have dependents, you can actually start at 50. But really? Again, most people this age are not. But we can start taking. You can take survivor benefit at 60. However, you still have the two rules. Number one, you're still going to take less if you haven't reached your own full retirement age, and you also have the earnings test. If you decide to take before full retirement age, any benefit you're still subject to reduction.
Even survivor.
And even survivor, exactly right.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if you take a survivor, let's say you take it at 62 or 60, whatever it is.
You take your penalty.
Take your penalty.
But your account continues to grow. And then once it exceeds that, or you wait to age 70, you've maxed it out, then you can turn on your own benefit.
When the moment it exceeds it, does it automatically switch over? Or
no, it does not.
Let it go?
No automatic. You actually would have to call them and say, I want to take my own now.
Interesting.
Yeah, will not happen automatically. You must apply for it.
So that's the only way. Otherwise,
exactly right.
When you deem, you've
taken
whatever you can.
It's the only people that can actually now grow their account.
Okay.
Let's just do a quick recap because it can be confusing. So what we're talking about right now has to do with a spousal benefit. And then so someone has a marriage that lasted at least 10 years or longer, and they did not remarry prior to the age of 60, we know that they could be eligible for that spousal benefit. Okay. Now, if their own benefit, retirement benefit, is greater than that spousal benefit, then they're going to have to take their own. But if it's spousal benefit is going to be greater, then they would be able to take that. Spousal benefit is 50% of whatever that spouse's benefit is at full retirement age. So let's say my spouse decides to wait until age 70. They have grown their own account, but that doesn't grow spousal benefits. Spousal stops at that full retirement age. And so if I've been married to someone at least 10 years or longer, then I can go back and draw from them if it's going to be a greater amount. And the clarity here, I think, is primarily whenever people are dealing with a spouse that has been deceased. Yeah. And so we can go back and we can look at that again. If I'm actively drawing a survivor benefit, meaning I was married to that person.
Thank you for sharing all that. I think that's hopefully enlightening for everyone that's listening today. Guys, if you are looking for ways you can get answers, maybe from real people about Medicare questions or Medicare situations or your own, what do I do? We have a Facebook group that I would invite you to join. You can go to your Medicare, or you go to your Facebook app and type in Medicare School Community and join that app. There's, I think, 50 or 60,000 people in there that you can ask questions to and get feedback from real people that are on Medicare. Some are our clients and many are not. But I encourage you to go in there. We're going to answer a couple of questions that have come in on there the last couple of days. And so let's do the first one. Stella said, can you assist me with appealing surcharges from Medicare since I no longer work? It's a great question.
It is. Yeah. Okay. So Stella, of course, is talking about IRMAs.
Yeah. What's an IRMA?
IRMA stands for Income-Related Monthly Adjustment Amount. That's an acronym
mouthful
that applies to people that have been high income by Medicare standards. And so if you're out there and you're going on Medicare, then the Part B premium is going to be based upon your modified adjusted gross income. A lot of people are not aware of that. In fact, I talked to a guy last night, 8 o'clock, old friend that called me and said, hey, will you explain what I need to do? Yeah. And so we spent about an hour on the phone last night.
Was he just starting Medicare?
Just starting Medicare. Okay. Yeah. Well, actually,
high income?
Pardon me?
So
high income. Exactly right. Yeah.
What are those thresholds?
Okay. Right now, if you're a single filer and your modified adjusted gross income is above $109,000, you're going to pay an IRMA. If you're married and file a joint return, you're going to pay IRMAs above $218,000, and they were certainly above those amounts. Okay. And so when we go on Medicare, you're going to have to realize that your premium may not be what the average person pays. The average person today that's below those thresholds pays $202.90. But if you're considered to be high income above the thresholds, minimum you're going to pay is about an extra $95 a month. High side, about $575 a month extra for Medicare. And so what happens, though, the government realizes that people may be high income because of your salary or your commissions working, but they're also aware that you may have a reduction when you retire or when you semi-retire. So they call those life-changing events. So if I have a life-changing event and that causes your income to go down, then what will happen is you have the right, as Stella is asking about, you have the right then to appeal the IRMA. It's actually officially called a reconsideration. So your reconsideration it has to be, it's a paper that has to be filed.
What form is that?
It's called the SS-44. Okay. SS-44. I do want you to know that if you do appeal the IRMA, you can download that application. It's 8 pages long. But you do not have to submit all 8 pages.
Yeah, it's like the first page.
First 3 pages. Okay, first three pages must be submitted. The last 5 are just simply giving you instructions to appeal the IRMA. Now, if you're our client, we'll do this for you and with you, help people with this all the time.
Which was their question. So Stella said, can you assist me with appealing surcharges from Medicare since I no longer work?
That's exactly right. So we can help Stella. We can help anyone that has this need that would be our client. And so,
so if you've gotten a notice of an IRMA, let's ask a couple of questions. When do they get that notice? So let's say maybe you're signing up for Medicare.
Give me a date. Let's say
you're signing up for Medicare. It's going to start July 1st.
Okay.
You just applied online. Okay. You know you're high income.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly
when do I get
here's
my
what's going to happen.
What do I do?
Well, okay, you're saying July 1, which is just a couple months away now. So what is probably going to happen is you're going to get a letter stating that you have the base Part B premium, $202.90. And so about 2 or 3 weeks after that, the IRMA letter comes. Okay. And they're going to say, we heard from the IRS that you make this much modified adjusted gross income. And if that is the case, then we're going to charge this extra amount. So here's the point. You're going to get that first letter within about a month of applying. Okay. And then 2 to 3 weeks later, you get the IRMA letter. Okay. And so if you have had a life-changing event, that would cause your income to be less because they're always looking back at your modified adjusted gross income 2 years prior.
Right.
So this year,
2026,
they're looking at 2024.
Okay. So if your income has gone down because you're retiring this year, right? Mm-hmm. What if you've already made over the threshold for this year and you're retiring now, but now are they ever going to look at a monthly amount that you make, or is it just going to look at
No, that has to do with Social Security earnings test. It has nothing to do with IRMA, Part B premium. And so if we're going to be above the thresholds, we'll get the letter. And then the letter says they would like to hear from you within 10 days. Okay. You don't have to do it then. I would do it as soon as possible. But they will do retroactive typically for about 6 months. And so if that is you and you're high income, but you've had a life-changing event, I want to clarify a couple things. There are 8 different life-changing events that allow you to appeal the IRMA. One is death. One is divorce, and one is marriage, work reduction, and which means semi-retirement or work stoppage. Those are the top 5. Okay. Now, I had a lady not long ago that was married. Excuse me. She was single 2 years prior, had an IRMA because she was above the 109. Okay. She got married, and now they're going to file a joint return, and they're going to be below
the married threshold.
The married threshold.
Okay, so that's
exactly right. So I helped her appeal the IRMA. What did we have to do? Well, we had to fill out the form SS-44, and the life-changing event was marriage, and we also had to put the date in there so it could be within the last 2 years, and had to submit a marriage license to prove that.
Okay. Where do you submit this stuff?
Today
you get the form. Maybe we help you with the form.
Right.
If you're in this situation and you've got an IRMA appeal, we've done thousands of these.
Right. So what I would do and what you would do is you can either upload it through the new SSA system. And again, that's still new. So I think they're still working some glitches through on that, or just simply take those to your local Social Security office and drop those off.
In the drop box.
Exactly right. That's the safest way to go. And now, if you want to mail it in, that is fine. But I would tell you this, I wouldn't just mail it. I would mail and fax. And I wouldn't just fax. I would fax and mail. You can't overdo this. Yeah. You want to be sure that they get that. So then there's 3 others, though, that I just want to note real quickly because there's a lot of confusion on this. So if we have the 5, death, marriage, divorce, work reduction, work stoppage, but there's 3 more. One of those is called loss of income producing property. Many people will look at that and say, "Well, I had a 8-plex sold a rental property, took a loss on it." That doesn't mean that at all. It means that you had that rental income in 2024, but that 4-plex, 8-plex burned up, or it went down a mudslide or a flood.
Yeah, like a federally declared disaster or something. Like it's like pretty. It's not just if it burned up.
Oh, yes, it's no longer available. All you have to do is
you get the insurance money, rebuild it.
Well, that's true. Well, then, and this income comes in, then it's going to happen now. That'll affect you in 2028.
Okay.
But if that is no longer available, meaning
so it's a true loss, though.
That's right.
Of that, yeah. Not
the property
like
is
I sold
gone.
it, yeah.
The property's gone, and then there's employer settlement agreements and loss of a pension plan because it went belly up or expired, whatever. There's a variety of reasons. So those would be the other. Now, I've been doing this 15 years, and I have done all the other 5. I've never done loss of income producing property at all. But there are instructions. Now, one thing I think it's very important for you to know is this. If you do have a work reduction or a work stoppage and that affects your income, you don't even have to provide proof. You just simply sign the form. You're signing an affidavit saying this is accurate, and it should be accurate.
And they're going to check it on like 2 years later on your tax return.
Yeah, absolutely they are. They're going to go back and audit that. I can assure you that. Yeah. But also, you must realize, do this because they don't want to charge you an IRMA. They're going to, if your income stays up, and if it stays up, it's a great problem to have. But if it goes down, then take the time, work with us, and we'll make sure that it's done properly.
I've talked to several folks, and they're like, well, I don't know exactly how much money I'm going to make.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So how do I tell them how much money I'm going to make?
Happens all the time. Do your best you can to make that estimate. Okay. Yeah, that's what I would do. Just be as accurate as you can. And don't worry about it. Yeah. You don't have to be to the dollar, but we know where the threshold is going to be. So hopefully you're going to be underneath that. If not, you're going to be above it. Just reveal that. That's fine, because they will check it for sure.
We will go to Terry now. I think in Maryland. Terry, are you there?
Yes.
Hello. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Welcome to Medicare School Daily. What questions do you have for us, sir?
Thanks for taking my call.
Of course.
The question I have is I will be turning 67 next July 4th. Okay. And I would like to time both my A and my B, and I've already got a sub plan in mind, and my Social Security to all kick in July, because 4th of July is going to be my last day here.
Congratulations. And where are you retiring from?
I work in the power industry. Let's just put it that way.
Okay, there you go.
Power generation. So the question is, can I, and you kind of touched on this several times, but I'd like to time my HSA. I'd like to pay it right up until the end of June of next year.
Okay.
Can I time my A so that it will start in July, and that way I'm not,
No, sir.
Actually, I'm sorry. I'm not paying. I'm sorry. I misspoke. Not paying my HSA all the way to June, but paying it to the end of this year rather, and that way I have the 6-month back spread from when my A kicks in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're not going to do that. Now you can if you want to work a little bit longer. But here, let me tell you the best case scenario for you. And let me I cut you off, and I'm sorry, Terry. Did you have another question besides that? I'm too eager to get to questions, and I'm sorry about that. You keep asking questions, so I understand about your A date. What else did you want to ask, sir?
No, that was really it.
Okay.
I just want to time everything to start when I retire.
Got it. Here's my question to you. So if you're going to retire July 4th, typically that means your insurance is going to run through the month of July, which means you would probably want to start. Yeah, I'm asking. So typically in this scenario, we would say you really want to start your insurance on Medicare August 1. Would that be correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's August 1, 2027.
And then you'd want to get your Social Security check then too, right? In August.
Well,
yeah.
Okay, that'd be good. So here's what happens. Let's say probably the latest you'd want to put this off would be June. June of 2027, you would apply. I wouldn't want to do it in July. It just gives us 1 month. That's not enough time. So I would be fine with the June 1 enrollment. So from June, when we enroll June 1, they're going to backdate that 6 months. So let's put 6 marks. The way I always do it, I put 6 marks on the paper. And so we're going to have a June 1 date. So we're going to apply June 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, very good.
Works.
It would work.
Yeah.
So as long as we apply June, because they backdate 6. So It may be 12.
They may give you.
They may give you a 12-1.
Date of 12-1.
Yeah, because you apply in June, they're gonna backdate you 6 months. So I'm thinking it's going to be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 12. So what I probably would do if it were me to be on the safe side, I would probably apply in June, and let's say we're going to go ahead and contribute 11 months on your HSA. It could be this this year, exactly right. It could be that they'll give you a 1/1 start date, but I know they backdate 6 months. So I would say.
So he could technically do this in July.
Yeah.
And then it would backdate 6 months to 1/1.
Exactly right.
It's just the point there is like if you do it in July, you've got 1 month to then wait for the application to be approved, to get your cards, then to go and get your supplement set up and your drug plan and all that stuff. It's a lot.
It's a little
Is it
risky.
worth a little extra HSA contribution?
Yeah.
Probably not.
It wouldn't be for me. I would go ahead and just play it safe. Do it in June. That way you get everything set up, because you got to remember something. Terry, you're coming in using the special enrollment period, so you've got some additional paperwork involved. So I would do it in June. Now, what's going to happen is this: when you make that application, and by the way, we'd be happy to do all this, for you and with you. But when you apply for this in June, they're going to ask you, when do you want to start your Social Security benefits? So if you say, I want to start in July, then you'll get your first check in August. Mm-hmm. If you say you want to start in June, you'll get your first, check in July. But you're working in July. So you've reached your full retirement age, so you don't have to worry about earnings tests.
Yeah.
So like Josh had said, if you want your first check in August, then that's the way I would do that. You would select to start your Social Security in July.
Because it's always paid a month in arrears.
That's right.
Social Security is. So
That's
your
right.
first check would then come in August.
Yeah, so to me, that'd be safe. Now, let me ask you this, sir. Are you maxing out on a monthly basis on your HSA contributions?
Yes.
You are maxing. Okay. All right.
So does he have to take the max times 11 months?
Exactly right. Yeah, because
so
they're going to prorate
contribute in December.
Yeah, that's what I would do. I would apply in June if it were me, and then because I really think you're going to get a 12/1 A date. Your B date will be August 1, no problem. That's the way I would do it to be safe. So put 11 months in. I don't know if are you contributing family or just individual?
Just individual.
Okay. So you're above 55, so you're probably putting about $450 a month in, something like that.
Yeah, they calculate. I do it. I can't remember exactly what it is. My company kicks some in, and I set it all up at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, this year it's $4,400 for the year, $1,000 for catch-up. So you take $5,400 divided by 12, and then multiply times 11 months, and you're safe. Then you don't have to worry about it. But that's the way it is done. And that's what I want you to know, and really everyone to know, that once you apply, it's from that date, then they backdate 6 months. Okay? So you apply in June, I think you're going to have a 12/1 A date. If you apply in July, I think we're pushing it, a little risky. Now, you'd still be covered, but it's just kind of pushing the window a little bit for sure.
Sure.
Okay.
Do you really want to retire on July 4th and be stressed out about your insurance getting in place and your Social Security by August 1st?
Yeah.
Seems like a terrible plan.
Yeah.
And probably not.
I know you always use.
Probably not worth $450 of extra HSA contribution.
No, you're right. You're right. I was just curious about it. I've heard you say many times that they backdate the A 6 months.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
Hey, Terry,
I didn't want to get.
Go ahead.
I didn't want to get on the wrong side of that date because I didn't know what the penalties were.
Okay. Have you built up a good amount in your HSA?
Yeah, I mean, I'm using it. I'm getting some dental work done that's kind of expensive, and I've been using it as well, not as fast, just about as fast as I've been saving it over the past several years.
Okay.
So
when he goes on Medicare, what can he use it for?
He can use it for everything medically related other than his MedSup premium. So, Terry, if you decide to get a Medicare supplemental plan, you can't pay your supplemental premiums.
The monthly cost,
exactly right.
a month.
Yeah, why? HSAs were set up to cover things that go towards the high deductible.
Premiums.
Yeah, not for premiums. So you can use
prescriptions.
Really anything and everything. And the truth is, he could go out and get a pair of fancy sneakers and call it something else.
Orthotics.
And there you go. We want to be honest, but it is true. It's qualified medical expenses. I've seen the list, and I'm telling you, they're very generous.
Expensive.
Exactly right. So just not MedSup. So good for you. You saved that money, and I think I love HSAs. And remember, for you and really anyone, what happens after we're 65, we actually, if we have so much in there, and I have people that 40, 50 grand in, they're never going to spend it. So you can actually pull the money out, like an IRA, you pay the taxes on it. There's no penalty at all. And buy a boat. You can do whatever you want.
You should have been filling that bad boy up.
Okay, very good. All righty. Well, hey, it was great to talk to you, sir. And
it was nice talking to you. And you set my wife up earlier this year. She just turned 65.
Thank you.
So you got her set up. And I'm looking to jump ship next year.
All right. Well, hey, we'll be here for you when you're ready. And remember, you'll get a household discount too, and a discount if you both go with the same company. So those are really, really nice. Multi-policy.
That's the plan.
That's good.
So I'll be calling you and setting up with you here next year.
All right. And also, Dave, don't forget, you tell the agent that you want help with that SCP paperwork as well. We'll help you with all that.
Yeah,
we fill it out.
Yeah, I know.
Happy to do it for you.
I know I need those 2 forms.
Yes, sir.
All right, very good.
Good talking to you,
gentlemen.
Take care.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
All right.
Okay, let's go to Sharon in Florida. Sharon, hello.
Yes, hi.
Hi, welcome to the show. What questions do you have for us?
Hey, I'm on the Care Plus HMO, which has worked out for me pretty well.
Okay.
But I'm having problems with the dental plan, and I'm wondering, did I pick the wrong one? Are there ones that are any better? I just had to pay $8,000 for dental surgery yesterday, and so I'm trying to figure out what I can do in the future. I know it's too late now, but
Sure.
Wow.
it was kind of surprising.
And you're in Florida?
Hey, Sharon,
Yeah.
what would you have done that cost $8,000?
I had a bridge that had an infection underneath it and on 2 different teeth, and they had to drill up under it and cut my gums all the way back like a flap.
How are you even talking today? How are you even talking?
That's amazing.
I'm numb.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I had that on 2 different teeth. It's shocking to me that it all just happened.
Wow.
And I was shocked when I got my dental thing and they said it covers nothing. And I was like, oh my God.
Okay. And probably, Josh is going to look it up real quickly, or Sharon, but it's not uncommon today where a lot of these plans are only covering preventive.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not saying that's your issue. Josh is going to find that out, but sadly, they have dropped back a lot of those dental benefits on these plans today. So they may only cover preventive. We'll find out.
You mean Medicare as a rule across the board?
No.
Well,
no.
just
Medicare
individual
Advantage plans. Yeah.
So if I got out of the Advantage plan, would I be able to obtain a better dental plan? Because that's imperative for me, more than medical.
Yeah. Well,
I always have problems.
You have any answers for there, Josh? Because
I'm going to try to keep going.
Okay, so let me share this. For you, anyone, if you can get a standalone dental plan, even if you're on an Advantage plan. So the Advantage plan, if it has some dental benefits, then you can use those, but you can also get a standalone dental plan. And so what I would suggest doing is calling in and we can talk to you about that, because right now, probably not going to be able to move your Advantage plan at this time of the year. Do you have any kind? Do you have any kind of? Let me ask you this now. Do you have any kind of a chronic condition, meaning, any kind of lung issue, diabetes, heart issues at all? Or
I'm a type 2 diabetic.
You are? Okay. Well, let me share this with you. Now, you may already be on this kind of a plan, but if you're not, there is an option. These are called chronic SNP plans. SNP is an acronym that stands for Special Needs Plans. And so if you have diabetes, you would qualify for a chronic SNP plan. And so what we could do is you could find out if there may be a chronic SNP plan available in your area. That would be better than the Care Plus plan, and maybe it would have some better dental benefit, and then you could take advantage of that. But I still would suggest buying a separate dental plan. And so if you talk to one of our agents, if you want to, they could explain all that to you. But that would be a reason, because once a year we can move from just a traditional Advantage plan onto a chronic SNP Advantage plan, if as long as we can verify that you have that disease and diabetes qualifies. So that may be a good option for you. Okay, can you see anything there, Josh?
So
is she on a chronic SNP?
No, I don't think so. So The problem is there is one plan, one care. But I don't think you would probably qualify for it. It's like an MA only plan, doesn't have drug coverage. Most of those Care Plus plans, they're just preventive dental. And that's why you're not getting any coverage. Like it's just for your cleanings.
That's it. So nothing else.
Here's the other thing you need to really know. So you can go out and you can get, and we would be happy to help you get a dental plan. We've got, some that I think our max is like 10 grand or something, what it will spend on in a year. And you should do that sooner than later because there are these things called waiting periods. Okay.
You already said waiting periods.
Yeah. So, and if you think about it, it kind of makes sense. Let's say you got this. Let's say you got a dental plan in March, right? And you paid $50 a month or $40 a month or $30, whatever it is. You paid for that plan for 1 month, and then the next month you went in and got $8,000 worth of dental issues that then the insurance carrier turned around and paid for. And then next month, meaning May, because you had your surgery, you think, well, I'll just cancel the dental insurance. So what did the dental insurance carrier got? They got maybe $100, $150 in premium, and they paid out $8,000 in your dental surgery, right? So what these dental plans do is they require you to keep the plan for a little bit before they pay anything.
Right.
So you get the plan, go ahead. Yeah, they're going to cover your cleanings, your x-rays, your oral exams, but they're not going to cover much until you've had the plan for 12 months because these aren't.
I called Delta. Yeah.
Delta. Yeah, there's several. There's several that are out there. How much do they charge?
Who I've had most of my life.
Yeah.
And they told me the waiting period was 1 year.
Yeah. And that's very common.
Hey, son, can you tell me, on her zip code, do you see any chronic SNP plans in her area at all? Because you may have a way to improve your position instead of having to wait till the end of the year if there was a chronic SNP.
Now, the dentist thought it might fall under medical, but I said, I don't see how.
No. It's not going to. I wish it would. It has to be very extreme. I'm talking, you have jaw cancer and they have to reconstruct your teeth. Medicare would cover that. And medically necessary. It's not your normal routine dental care. I mean, obviously you needed it, but it's not going to be covered by Medicare. So why they would say that, I have no idea. But that's... No,
she was just trying to figure out how I could cut costs because she had to deliver the news to me.
Sure. Well,
that it covered nothing.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, my God, because I would have never taken any. I don't need preventive.
Right.
I could just go pay to that myself.
Okay. So, Sharon, what I want you to do, if you like, I think you got to call in.
There are plans. There's CSNP plans.
Good.
Like there's
Okay. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to call in. And you tell the reception team, you talk to Marvin and Josh today, and you want to talk to an agent, one of our agents. We know them. We've trained them. And then you tell the agent, whoever they transfer you to, that we said there's a possibility of a chronic SNP plan. SNP is Special Needs Plan. It's an acronym CSNP, a chronic SNP plan because you have diabetes. And tell them you're looking for something that would, of course, we're going to check your docs, your hospitals, all that, your medications, but also see if we can get some dental benefit built within that so you can start using that now because those Medicare Advantage, there is no waiting period on those. And then what you want to do is say, then Marvin mentioned a standalone dental product, a separate one. And so let them tell you the options available in your area, and then you'll decide, hey, do I want to spend an extra $50 a month to get a premium on that so you'll have some additional coverage beyond what the Medicare Advantage will cover for you. Did that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely.
Josh, you want to give her the number?
And just so we represent that we have access to 65 different plans in your zip code.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of options. Now, we're going to filter that down to ones your doctor takes. We're going to filter it down to chronic SNP plans that you can even get in. And then we'll filter it down even further to make sure that there's dental benefits. So I'm going to give you our phone number. Are you ready?
Hold on 1 second. Yep, I'm ready.
Okay, the phone number is 800-782-6676.
826676. And just tell the receptionist.
782-6676.
Yeah.
Yes,
and it looks
tell them what now?
Okay.
Tell them that you talked to Marvin and Josh on the show and you want to get a C-SNP plan that has good dental benefits.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
And they know what to do. They really do. And then you want to talk about a separate dental plan as well. That's
Yeah,
something
if you want
may
extra
want to.
beefy
Right.
coverage.
You can do that. And then that just means when you go to the dentist, you're going to give them your Advantage card. You're also going to give them your standalone dental plan, and they'll coordinate the benefits. That's the way it works.
Yeah.
Okay?
Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you so much. I
Well,
really appreciate
Sharon,
it.
you are very welcome. We're
Thank
privileged
you.
to serve you. Thanks for calling in today. See ya.
Okay, let's talk to Sharon in California. Sharon, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Hi, welcome to the show. What questions do you have?
Thank you so much. I
Yeah.
appreciate the opportunity to speak with you.
Sure.
I appreciate your service tremendously.
Well, thank
Very
you.
helpful, very educational. One quick question I had is, I hear I've listened to a lot of the information on the website and the weekly teleconferences, and I hear group coverage and employer coverage, and I just wondered if there's anything besides employer coverage, whether it be one's own employer, or previous employer, or spouse, or employer coverage that's considered group. Anything besides those?
Okay, Sharon, we'll answer your question. I have to understand a couple things. First off, are you already on Medicare?
Yes.
Are you working any longer?
No.
Okay, you're not. Okay, so what you're asking for is
What's your question
yeah.
again? If you could
I just
rephrase
want to understand kind of your situation. So you're saying, is there anything a group plan today would only be an employer provided plan of you or your spouses, if you're married, that has 20 or more people on the payroll. Anyone that's in that situation then does not have to actually go on Medicare. So that's the only type of group plans available. So they have to be active employer provided plans, you or your spouse. Okay, 20 or more people on the payroll. And that qualifies as then someone that does not have to go on Medicare.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's where I got tripped up, is
all right.
because in California, I had Affordable Care Act, and everything I had a group number on it that I had to provide.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
And so when I was listening, I would listen. I thought I would have caught it, but and when I called in a couple of times, I remember speaking.
Yeah, even drug plans today, when you get a card, it's going to have a group number on it.
But that's not referring to group coverage. It's more like, I don't know.
It's for billing purposes.
Yeah.
It's just It's just a number. So, is there anything else, Sharon, that you're curious about?
Yes. So
Okay, keep
I
going.
had a sort of a trifecta. So that tripped me up. So I thought I had the early enrollment period to sign up for basic Medicare, as well as if I wanted additional coverage, which you're spectacular at teaching people about supplemental versus advantage. So I knew I wanted supplemental first time I heard you describe it. So I thought, because I had group on my prescription card, even on my medical card to go into the office, I thought, okay, I have that early enrollment period to sign up for basic Medicare. So that's one mistake that I've learned. So I signed up, started November, and then got a Medicare card in November that said I started in July. So I had to drill down to figure out did I have group coverage or not. So that's why I asked up front, sometimes I hear folks use them interchangeably. And so because they know.
Did you end up getting like a Advantage or supplement plan in place? Or you just still have A and B?
I did because I did it all in October.
Good.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did it in October because I compared the premium. I figured out what the premium would be for the supplemental versus the Affordable Care Act premium. And I said, okay, supplemental's higher, so I'll wait till the end of the early enrollment period to do that. So that was another piece I wasn't completely clear on. There's basic Medicare, and then if you want additional coverage, you can get supplemental or Advantage. Because sometimes you get supplemental coverage, and then supplemental is also the name of one of the two options. So
it's confusing.
Okay, do me a favor,
Did you
Sharon.
get someone to walk you through
I've
it
got
all?
to know. I've got to know. Tell me,
Yes.
what's your B date on your card? What do you have? I know you have a 7-1. The B date, Medicare.
7-1.
7-1 as well. So A and B are both 7-1.
Yes, sir.
Okay, 2025.
Sounds like she's got all your coverage in place.
Okay, that sounds great. And what supplemental company did you go? What'd you go with on your supplemental plan?
United.
Okay.
United Healthcare.
Yeah, good. I know they're competitive in California. That's good. That's a good.
Yes.
What do you have for your drug plan?
I think it's WellCare.
Yeah, WellCare.
It's interesting because I signed up for one, but sometimes it shows up as a different name, which was interesting. They have an interesting formula
Centene or
yeah, it could. They're owned. They're owned by Centene. That's who I have also on my drug plan is WellCare. So
did you have a question about like Roth conversion or something?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Are you okay to go into that?
Yeah,
so
just
I
one
had
more.
A trifecta
We got
thing.
time.
Yeah.
Yep. Go ahead.
So,
Question
okay,
number 3.
Perfect. So what I did also in 25 is I did a Roth conversion. I took funds out because the RMD is coming up at 73 in anticipation of that. I wanted to do a conversion and a large one. So I knew I'd pay, that triggers a tax liability when you take money from a rollover IRA or whatever IRA into a Roth. I was prepared for that and anticipated what it was going to trigger. What happened though in doing my taxes when we put in the 1095 showing I had coverage and then had to do the 5498 form or the 1099R.
Yeah.
It put, because I had kept the Affordable Care Act through October, so I had 4 months of premium there. Then I had to reimburse Medicare for their start date, so double premiums for 4 months. That's fine. But by doing the conversion, once it goes into the Roth, it's frozen for 5 years. You can't touch it. So it's income per se in terms of, yes, I owe tax on it, but they also counted as income. They did a look back to see, okay, you had this income. You weren't eligible for the Affordable Care Act. You exceeded the income threshold. You must now reimburse the government for all their portion of the Affordable Care Act premium, which was added up to like $13,000 to $15,000, dollar for dollar reimbursement of that.
For the full year.
I wondered, Marvin, have you? Yes.
Yeah.
For everything they paid on my behalf.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. So it's income. Yes, it is income. Pay tax, good. But I can't touch it. I couldn't use it as income per se. So I just wondered, Marvin, have you ever heard of that happening where someone happens to do that in the year in which they turn 65 when they didn't have group coverage?
Yeah.
For the whole year?
Yes. Yeah. It definitely happens. So you did your big conversion in 2025. So that's
when have you retired? Or have you retired, or when did you retire?
You know, I do a ton of volunteer work with seniors and veterans, and so I love it. But I'm also I've met so many seniors who have nobody to help them financially, so I'm pursuing a fiduciary license. So I am going to go back to work once I complete the licensure piece.
Okay, but Josh's
that's why I love what you guys do.
Josh's question though was
did you retire?
Yeah, what was your
from
official
work?
retirement date?
Anytime?
Was it July?
My official retirement, well, I would say it was like 5 years ago in terms of what the government calls earned income.
Okay, we got you.
I would say about 5 years ago. Yeah.
2021.
Okay, very good. So what's going to happen then is in next year, you're going to have probably an IRMA. Are you single or married?
Single.
Single. So I'm assuming that you're going to be above the $109,000 in modified adjusted gross income since you did your Roth conversion. Is that correct?
I did it in 25, so it affected tax year 25.
Yes.
Yeah, I know that. It's taxed at 25, but Medicare is going to show up for next year, remember, because they always look back 2 years. So that 2025 conversion is going to show up next year. Now, you're going to hear about it in December because they'll send a letter to you saying, hey, this is what you made in 2025, and this is what your Part B premium is going to be. I don't have my IRMA chart with me. Josh's going to look at it. So let me ask you this. Beyond the Roth conversion, did you have other income in 2025?
Yes. None of that was earned.
That doesn't matter. Doesn't matter when it comes to Medicare premiums. If it's income, whether it's passive, it doesn't matter at all.
So great for a single filer, greater than 205 but less than 500,000. There's an IRMA of $446 a month.
Okay.
Golly.
So and Josh, that was above 220.
Yeah, above 205.
Okay, above 205 to 500,000. So you got how
450.
Let's call it 450.
Oh, my adjusted was lower. They don't care about adjusted to 205.
Okay, no, that's fine.
How much was your adjusted?
Yeah, what's your AGI for 2025?
Oh, my adjusted was down to like 140-ish.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, so
and including everything. Okay, good. And then 140.
Yeah, I whittled it down.
Good. You'll have a small IRMA then.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's twice as much. So she's going to pay 2 times the amount.
That's right. So, and then her drug IRMA probably $35, something like that.
Let me see.
So here's what we think is going to happen for you next year. Based upon what you said, your Medicare is going to cost you about an extra $240 a month. That's the B and D IRMA, and that's only for 1 year. And that's the effective, based on what you said your AGI was. And so you'll get a letter sometime in December letting you know that you're going to have the IRMA. Go ahead, Josh.
Is there any way to reverse a Roth conversion? Because what ended up happening is she had to pay $15,000 in ACA subsidies. She's going to have to spend an extra $240 times 12. How much is that?
240 times 12, about 3,000 almost.
Yeah.
Because
3,000.
250.
So call it 18,000. Just in like extra stuff.
I know that. Yeah.
Which probably eliminates any benefit that a Roth conversion would have given.
I've never heard of that, son. With someone reversing a Roth. I have not. So
I think once it's done, it's done. I think because I've paid the tax on it for the year I did it, et cetera. So interesting though. I didn't. So it's a gift that keeps on giving with the extra.
Yeah, it keeps giving. So and that's why I had asked if you stopped working,
because we were going to look for a way to appeal.
If you stopped working, then you'd have what's called a life-changing event, right? Because you retired, and then you would be able to appeal that IRMA, that income-related, that surcharge, that $240 extra a month. That's going to just last for 1 year.
But she
2027. But it doesn't sound like
she retired 5 years ago. You would have had to retire, semi-retire in the last 2 years to be able to appeal that IRMA.
And Roth conversions cannot be reversed.
This is what I would say I've done. So I don't know how expansive the definition of retire could be, because one of the things I did when I was working is just bought some rental properties, and so when I do my 1040, I spend over 750 hours a year. I fit the definition of a professional. I do everything from work with the tenants. So is that retire? I'm working, but it's not a W-2.
Well, it could be.
That's for even now, 25, 26. I've done that.
I was going to say it could be work reduction.
Probably. I mean, you could try, but the amount of money you make is probably more than $3,000 in penalties, right?
Money I make is more than $3,000.
Yeah, I mean, if we're just saying you're going to have about $3,000 worth of Medicare IRMA surcharges next year.
Yes.
Right. So if the amount of money you're making by doing all of that is greater than $3,000, I wouldn't stop doing that, because I'm sure.
Oh no! So because it's interesting how the IRS will define something one way and Medicare looks at another way.
You're exactly right.
I completely acknowledge.
And Social Security looks at it differently as well.
Did you have a financial advisor that helped you with this Roth conversion?
Yes, but we never talked about.
You need to go talk to him about all of this disaster he created or she created.
I know. I'm with you. That's why I was wondering. It's going to be it's a tax. I'm going to have to talk to a tax professional, because I completely acknowledge and embrace I have to pay tax on that conversion, but I can't touch it for 5 years. So
you can't touch it for 5 years. You had an ACA subsidy revoked for 12 months, and you also you're going to have an IRMA.
Okay, let me ask you this real quick, and then we have to let you go.
Yeah.
Here's my question to you.
Sure.
Could you honestly say that you are working less this year than you worked in 2025? Could you honestly say that?
In 2026, you're saying?
Yeah, this year.
Less than 25?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, no, I'm working the same amount. I'm working the same amount.
Can you figure out how to work less?
I'm managing the property.
Oh,
yeah, sure, I can.
Take a day off.
Yes.
The year's not over, but the point is, you could say that you
had a work reduction.
You had work reduction. Let's just call it, June 1, 2026. But it needs to be truthful. I don't want anyone to lie about anything. So if you have a work,
because I did a lot more maintenance on property back in 25.
I've had
expenses to whittle down.
There you go.
I had a guy
whittle down my adjusted gross.
I had a guy that owned 150 single-family dwellings, sold off 2/3 of his inventory, sold off 100, and he was left with 50. And he appealed, did a work reduction.
Okay, but here's the what do you think your income will be this year?
2026. Is it going to be below the 145 or whatever you told us for?
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I did a smaller conversion. I think I've done 18,000 so far, and maybe
will you be below?
Might be 28.
Okay, so you'd be below 109. So what I would do, if it's honest, I would set a semi-retirement date of May 1, June 1, and do it. And you reduce your hours. And then when you get your you get your IRMA letter later this year, you're going to appeal using the SS-44 form, and you're going to put on there work reduction. And again, it's got to be truthful. Check the box work reduction. They're looking at 2025. Yep. You're going to give them 2026. The number you just gave us, you'll submit page 1, 2, and 3 to your local office, and you will win that appeal. And that's going to save you a couple $100.
$3,000 next year.
Yeah, next year. That's work reduction.
Okay.
So work less, and then you can honestly say it, but you got to set a date. So I'd say May 1 or June 1 if it were me. Okay.
Okay.
You'll win that for sure.
So is there any? Okay, that's great. Is there any way to appeal having to reimburse the government because it counted as income, but not? No. I couldn't use it.
No, ma'am.
I couldn't touch it.
No, ma'am.
No appeal for that.
No, promise not. Because you're talking about IRA rules versus ACA rules, so you're not going to win that. I promise you. I can't even imagine. I mean, it's not even possible. Okay. Yeah. The bottom line is, I wish the financial advisor would have told you the consequences of making the conversion. That's the only. That's the only issue.
Financial advisor.
I think he didn't. We didn't know about this.
Yeah, he may not have been exactly right. Yeah, and quite frankly, that's not real common, honestly. Yeah. So, anyways, but that's.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Okay, sounds good. Well, listen, Sharon, we have enjoyed talking with you.
Thank you so much. I never expected you all to be able to. You tackled it beautifully. Thank you.
Yeah, we enjoyed it,
Josh.
Okay,
you're passionate.
Take care.
I can feel it.
Take care.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you again so much.
You,
okay.
Sharon.
Take care. Bye.
I've been thinking about this Roth conversion and RMDs at 73 and IRMAs. The whole, all of these things do impact people because if you have an IRA that's sizable. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, you hit 73 and you're going to have RMDs now, it's going to bump a lot of people into IRMA. Mm-hmm.
If they're large, you're right.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. They can add tens of thousands of dollars of extra income a year. And then if part of your plan is to do Roth conversions, I never, this wrinkle of an ACA subsidy, I've actually had to, that's crazy.
Yeah, the best time to do a Roth conversion would be the year you're either 1 year or 2 years before you retire. That way you have that the right to appeal.
Event.
Exactly right.
So you do all of it.
Exactly, because the government doesn't source the money.
At a certain point, you will be bumped up into the next marginal tax bracket, and maybe that's not as big
and that's true
as
too.
a Medicare surcharge. But
yes.
Guys, thanks for being with us today. If you are turning 65, tomorrow's episode is for you. There is a wrong choice that we see people make, and we want to prevent you from doing that because it can be a wrong choice that ends up affecting you for life. And so join us on tomorrow's show. The wrong choice at 65 that you don't want to make.
You can also make that wrong choice at 67.
Oh, really?
Absolutely.
Oh. What about 66?
Absolutely.
What about 70? So it's just a wrong
exactly
choice.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, no matter what age you are, just listen in. It's going to be very important. Guys, if you need help with your Medicare situation, if that's enrolling in an Advantage plan, enrolling in a supplement plan, getting a drug plan, getting dental benefits, whatever it is, filling out those complicated government forms, call our office. We have people right outside these studio doors that come to work every single day wanting to help you make sure that you are on the right coverage for your situation. The phone number is 800-782-6676, 800-782-6676. We would consider it an honor and a privilege to help you make your move to Medicare with ease and confidence.